imagine Francis blogging with a fountain pen in a better era?
Yeah,
that
would have been.
suitable? There I was. You're writing these long cursive, and you write in cursive.
I do write in cursive.
Francis wrote us a very nice card, and it was really nice cursive.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He wrote me a nice card, and it was nice cursive. I am not worthy of that card, dude. It was just nice.
He sent us a nice gift for our wedding.
Welcome back to Oops the Podcast.
All right, lots to unpack here.
I got something for you.
Please. Julio, I don't know where you came up with that idea.
Dude, this guy was a huge turkey.
What is this, Japan? Which is one of the reasons why I hadn't told you about it.
No, and I also just assumed you were saving it for the pod if you were going to tell me.
Yeah.
Which, of course, you were.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Oops the Podcast. Julio and Francis here, hanging out. What's poppin', dude?
Well, not a whole lot. I'm feeling good.
I like that.
What, did you have a New Year's resolution?
No. Did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't either.
And when to be honest, if I ever have them, like, I wouldn't dare tell someone. It's just a hedge.
Smart.
You know, just because, like, I don't want to seem like I have no substance when when it doesn't pan out.
Right.
You know?
Right. The best one I've had in recent years, as I think I remember I said, was that I was going to try to either call or text my mom or my parents every day.
Oh, wow.
And I did really well with that. I don't think I did every day, but I did at least 300 days of the year.
Yeah, like you upped your volume.
I was so much more in tune with it,
yeah,
which I was happy about. So that's a good one.
That is good. Dude, it's funny. I've been doing a lot of like productive procrastination, where like I've hit a couple chunks of my Afghanistan edit that are just like not that fun. Where I'm trying to like, we have these big roundtable conversations with like these like tribal. I don't want to say tribal, like these local.
They are.
No, they're not. These like local.
Are they not?
No, it's like these local guys. When we were thinking of like how to put the school together, we had this like long discussion, and we only had 2 microphones, so the microphones pick everybody up, but I have to like raise everybody's levels so that the translator can hear it. So it's just like sucks. It's fine, but it sucks. So in attempting to not do that, I have taken on all these other projects. Every day when I go to start, I end up making something else amazing before I start. The other day I decided I was getting in my feels about XXXTentacion, and I was like, I'm going to make a 2015 to 2019 only hip hop playlist.
Oh my God.
And I sat there and spent like 2.5 hours curating this playlist. And I realized in the middle of it, I'm like, wow, most of the rappers on this list are either dead, in jail, or canceled. And I'm like, that is really fucking sad and sucks. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say canceled in hip hop means you snitched. Gunna's canceled.
Yeah, but didn't
6ix9ine obviously
your boy,
canceled.
dude. How do you feel about that?
I don't know, bro. I'm in like disbelief, sort of. I'm like in denial. And I asked a couple, like, some of my friends really speak hip hop court case well. So I can hear Gunna be like, they're like, is that YSL a gang? And he's like, yes. Like all the shit he said, to me on the surface still, I don't necessarily know that that's snitching. I think it is, but I got to ask Ricky. Ricky understands. Like, Ricky might as well be a criminal attorney with the way he understands RICO charges, dude.
Wow.
I'm like, how does Ricky know so much about like all this shit?
What is RICO again?
Racketeering in criminal something?
Organization?
Maybe.
So it's gang stuff, but it's also mafia stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So it's organized crime.
Yes.
Racketeer, influence, and corrupt organizations act.
Okay, I was completely wrong.
But
But racketeering I had. So anyway, so yeah, there's that. Then like, you know.
What's racketeering?
Illegal activities.
That's it?
I think so. I think it's like very widely defined, right?
Whenever someone's like, that's a racket.
Engaging in illegal.
They're running a racket over there.
Engaging in a pattern of illegal scheming and activity for profit. Engaging.
Yeah.
You had the beginning.
Thank you. So anyway, it's really, speaking of nostalgia, that is a very nostalgic, you know, listening to Thugger, who, you know, may never see the light of day.
That's Young Thug?
Yeah. Listening to, and then some of also like the kind of spillover from these sad events, like XXX getting killed. Ski Mask was never the same. Trippie Redd was never the same.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
This is a very naive thing, and
Yeah.
I'm worried about what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Aren't these bad dudes?
I mean, it depends specifically who you're talking about.
Well,
Generally speaking, no, they're not all.
Didn't
bad dudes.
XXX Tentacion get
He was
rape charges or something?
It appeared he was about to deal with some like very heavy shit. I don't know. To be honest, I'm sort of. Not
And then Young
looked much into
Thug,
it.
this whole
Of
they
course.
they were admitting to dozens of murders that they were telling people to do.
All this is maybe true and is fine, but like it doesn't change the fact that I no longer get to selfishly enjoy the fruits of their labor in the studio.
Fair enough.
You know?
Yes. What a cost to stop them from killing all those people.
I'm trying. Like, who else died? I mean, Juice World gone. Even like
Lil Keed.
Lil Keed, but I mean that's even a more recent one. But still, yeah, he had music during that era. Anyway, so I've curated this playlist, and Hillary came home while I was doing it, and she was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "I'm making a 2015 and 2019 playlist, and then I'm gonna have a party." And she was like, "That's very nice, honey. That's very nice." I just like felt like her son, dude.
Yeah, nice. Good.
Oh, I realized something in listening to all this. Do you have a question about?
No?
And forgive me if I'm leaving out people's favorite rappers who are died. There were just so
PNB
many.
Rock.
What?
PNB Rock.
PNB Rock, dude.
Pop Smoke,
Pop Smoke,
Mm.
Nipsey.
Nipsey. Yeah, all guys who were very active during that era.
Mac Miller.
Mac Miller, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Bankroll Fresh, dude. You know, even there's
So many.
anyway,
Lil Peep.
Lil Peep. Avicii
What's
wasn't even a rapper.
What's going on here? what is this?
Who else?
I don't know a lot of these people. You guys could be fucking with me at this point. Lil Peep?
DMX.
Yeah, I mean, I know Mac Miller. I know DMX. These are,
That wouldn't
Nipsey
make your
Hussle.
playlist. That wouldn't make your playlist. That was 2021.
DMX. Yeah, DMX. Well, no, but when they died doesn't matter. It's just when they were active making music. DMX would not have been on there because of
Earlier.
he was earlier. Yeah. However, all this made me think. If you're a rapper, it's very difficult to be a successful rapper if you're not repping a good place. If I were to try to become a rapper right now, minus the fact that perhaps I don't possess the skill or enough of interesting things to talk about in my rap career, the place that I'd be repping would not make sense. It's not hard to be like, shout out Higginham, Connecticut. 06441 in the sun. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cool.
No.
You need to have a good spot that you are repping. If you wanna
Sure,
rap.
but I would bet that there are some rappers who are so talented that they just came from places that, that they're that where they came from didn't matter.
And it's true. It's interesting. You're right. And a lot of those rappers don't really talk about it because maybe they know that for some reason it just doesn't have like. But I think Bone Thugs and Harmony are from like Cleveland or Cincinnati.
Huh.
I didn't know that. I always thought they were from like the West Coast.
Uh huh.
Trippie
feel
Redd,
like-
not to keep talking about him. He's from Ohio too.
J. Cole talks about it a lot, though, I feel like.
J. Cole is from North Carolina.
Yeah.
I feel like North Carolina
Petey
has a
Pablo.
little bit of being
Petey
from
Pablo.
the South gives you something.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
where else.
Well, our boy is from Knoxville.
Who? Elvis.
No, the fantastic. And why is his name escaping me? My favorite rapper.
T.I.
No, the new guy.
Jack Harlow.
yeah.
He's from
Who?
Louisville.
He's from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Who?
He's from Kentucky.
Jack
Jack Harlow.
Harlow.
Jack Harlow, my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Is he? I thought he was from Knoxville.
He's from
You
Kentucky.
really don't like him then, if you didn't know that.
You know what? Maybe you don't like him, but
Bro,
I like him.
But I don't. I know. I can't forget because of when he said Kentucky where I'm from, and I was like, "Do you like it?" I was like, "Do you like it there?" He goes, "Greatest place in the world."
Yeah,
I
that's
was like,
it.
Okay.
Louisville.
Rapper talk?
Louisville. You gotta swallow the whole name.
Rapper talk.
Louisville.
Dude,
One syllable. Well, that's fun.
that's
I'm
fun.
glad we talked about rap for a bit there.
Agreed. I texted Francis late last night, dude. I basically didn't sleep last night, and I saw it
This
coming.
was good.
I text Francis at like 11:30 with like 19 texts. A lot of energy for that lady. Let's see if I can pull some of these up. And I told him, I'm like, sorry, I just hit the jet stream.
The jet stream was really good. And explain what you meant by that.
Meaning just like out of nowhere, I got a ton of energy and was just like on some shit where I'm texting people as if I were drunk, but I wasn't. I was completely sober.
You were.
I'm reconnecting with people, texting people I haven't texted in a while, blowing your spot up.
You ever go deep into your texts and try to find texts that you forgot to respond to?
Yes, exactly.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, of course.
You go back and you see one that ends in a question mark, and you're like, was that me or him? Oh, shit, it was him? Oh, hey, dude, no, I'm not going to be there that weekend. You're like, that was 6 days ago.
That's 2 years ago, dude.
Do you say, if you do that, do you say, yo, sorry, I forgot, or yo, something came up, and then answer it? Or do you just, to me,
Let it rip.
nothing is cooler than if someone's like, want to hang out tomorrow, and a week goes by, and you're like, yo, no, but how about next week?
Oh, God.
Or something. You don't even address the fact that it took you a week to get back, because then they think that you're somebody who doesn't text very often.
Right, that shit can literally erode your relationships. That sort of behavior.
But people know it. People know. If people know you're a bad texter and that you're not, then you don't get in trouble for it.
You don't get in as much trouble, but it can really limit your sort of exposure to some rich experiences.
That's true.
I mean, this isn't me like subtly saying you're a bad texter.
Oh, I
don't
know
even-
I'm a bad texter.
You
You were.
right.
So G was sending me some data about the podcast that we were excited
This is
about,
funny.
and charts and graphs showing growth and all this, and he's like, and then I guess I didn't respond for a while, and then you had another question.
I bumped it up 3 times in like the same conversation.
Yeah, but you had another question, and I answered that first. I think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then you were like, no, but look at the data again.
No, I sent the data, and then you asked me a question. You didn't even respond. You
Oh,
just
that's
asked me
what
a
it was.
question, which I'm fine.
I'm
And then I
sorry.
said, I think I did what is potentially the proper protocol here. I said Googling it because I hadn't heard about it. And then I said, want to make sure you saw the stuff I sent you above. And then I said some more shit about it. I then replied to what you said. And then you continue to only talk about what you said.
I know. I felt like I needed to finish that thought because I don't remember what it was, but I do a thing that I think a lot of people do where I'll read someone's messages and I'll process it in my head and then forget to respond.
And I'll tell you what, normally I wouldn't have done this. But I know that sometimes when you don't have empirical facts, your mind can sort of wander and into the wrong territory where
Yeah.
you know, if you're, I don't want to call you like a glass half empty guy. You're not. This isn't where I'm going with this. But like, if you're not sure, sometimes you tend to just brace yourself for the worst.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to spare you of that.
Thank you.
I want to be like, hey, look at this. In case you're wondering about how we're doing, here's some positive news.
Yeah. You know, it occurs to me, Julio, that I am not equipped for this time. This is
I almost
the
spilled my
wrong.
water. That's all right.
This is the wrong time for me.
What time? What time were you supposed to be?
This is the
out
wrong
and about?
time. I don't have a brain that is capable of keeping an eye on the 4,000 lines we all have in the water. We've got 3 different email accounts. We've got 40 different text message conversations, 6 group chats. We've got paperless posts, invitations, weddings, Gmail calendars, DMs on Instagram, DMs on Twitter. We have TikTok. There is such an insane litany of obligation now from a communication standpoint
Mhm.
that I lose track of a lot of things. And
yeah.
as a result, I come off as rude or disinterested or negligent when it's just that my brain short-circuited. I'm not choosing to not reply. I am trying to keep up and failing.
Yeah. I mean,
And
dude, it's tough out there, dude.
Do you know how great I would have been at receiving a handwritten letter from a horseback rider and
Yeah.
writing a letter back to that person immediately? I would have thrived in the era of the Pony Express.
I feel like you would have done well as a saloon owner.
Sure.
Like people start like throwing down, and all of a sudden you just hear and you're like, "Hey, all you guys, calm down!" While
Yeah.
you're like wiping the counter down.
Sure.
You know, you're not looking for it first, but you can handle it if
Yeah.
it comes. you
Yes.
know? I like that for
I
you.
just think when the world communicated via what I'm trying to think if it what the best time would have been for communication's sake, right? Because the handwritten letter era was super delayed.
You probably would have done well in the like Mad Men era. You know, white men were prospering.
That's phone calls though.
No, like you have an assistant.
Well, that's a specific job. I'm trying to think from a communications standpoint, right?
Oh, right.
Telegrams would have been fun. I would have liked sending telegrams. Right?
I guess I did. I don't know.
No? Those were quick.
Dude, this is a better
Those
time.
got there quick.
This is better. Dude.
No, I don't agree.
It's better. We can get. Dude, there's just
Yo,
so much more shit you can do.
I go to get blood tests, right?
Mhm.
And they're like, log on to your My Health portal
God.
through the Mount Sinai website.
Can we please get a proper app developer to make these fucking apps?
Fuck's
dude?
sake.
What a
Doctor,
joke.
call me. Have your assistant call me and tell me what it means that my LDLP lipid thing is 170 or some shit. Don't expect me to log on and read these 400 results that came from blood.
They usually say though, we found nothing concerning.
They did call me, which
Influences.
was nice.
That can be stressful too, though. Hey, we wanted to call, and you're like, why are they calling? We want you to come back in.
No, that's bad. That's what I got when they found the cancer in my throat.
What?
Do you not know that story?
Yeah,
You may have told it briefly a long
It
time
was like the first week I ever worked at Barstool.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, you did.
I got told I had cancer. 2 weeks later, they said that we had found that they swapped the results in the lab at Mount Sinai
yeah.
with a woman,
I remember. Yes,
and then everyone said that I had faked cancer to
Dude.
get a job at Barstool.
that's crazy.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
great.
see, in the 50s, that wouldn't have happened to you. You would have just been.
I would have just died.
Everyone would have just loved you. No one would have been coming for you. No one would have been coming for your throat.
Correct.
No pun intended.
Correct. It's I'm thinking that the best because the era of, let's say, Victorian England, Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, that whole time, every handwritten letters were delivered via horseback, and that took a while.
You also just died when you got like bronchitis back then.
But I'm solely talking about
Communication.
communication. But to your point, yes, news of your maladies or that a beloved family member had fallen ill would take so long to get to you that you might not be able to say goodbye. So that's not the era. All right. Courier services picked up speed. The Pony Express in America, famously. Do you know about the Pony Express?
I do, yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's cool.
And then telegrams came in, and I don't even understand how telegrams worked, but that seems like that was a very dynamic thing, because all of a sudden governments could communicate, we're under attack, hey, come help, holy shit, SOS, whatever. Morse code. I'm a big fan of Morse code. Yeah. Tapping away. Tappity tap tap tap. Was that
Dude,
a
you know what
long
would be really
dash?
funny? If like SOS is the only thing you ever hear in Morse code in a movie, it would be funny if someone listened and it was like them saying like "fuck, go fuck yourself" or something. Any other phrase,
Yeah.
suck my. What? Sorry.
I think it's that era of telegrams before the early telephones, because the early telephones. You watched The Crown?
No, but I watched a little bit of it because Hillary was super sick and she like binge watched it, so I've seen some of it.
Oh, I like it. I like it
It is
very
good.
much.
It was good.
But there are scenes of the early telephones where, they have switchboard operators and I'm calling for so and so, and 78 different plugs have to get plugged into a wall to go to this next person to this until they can finally connect you to the number you're trying to
Mhm.
call. And that's not great. That's not great.
Dude, fuck that. Fuck all that shit, dude. like there is good, like obviously, like looking at your phone constantly is like adds a new level of anxiety and stress and whatever. But it's also fire to be able to do all your shit on your phone, dude.
So this is your time
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just before early telephone.
Like before early telephone.
Yeah, I'm
What
guessing.
about flip phones? Like the late 90s.
That's not bad, Ryan. That's not bad.
Even early 2000s, they were still ripping.
You know, texting, people were not expecting you to respond immediately. Predictive text and, you know, all that shit.
Mhm.
Flip phones, Nokia bricks. That's a good one, Ryan. I like
That was
that.
good. Dude, speaking of innovation, I feel like one of the most overrated professions, like when you're a kid and people are talking about, you know, getting rich someday, there's always somebody who knows somebody whose great grandfather invented toilet paper or something. I think being an inventor is the most over glorified thing that exists.
Really?
Yeah, because dude, like most of the time you're fucking running around with like the prototype in your trunk. Like it's really like a losing proposition. Like how many stories are there of a guy who invented something that like got really rich? It's like kind of stupid, dude.
There aren't many?
Like no.
I think there are also a lot we don't know about.
But exactly. But then like that guy probably didn't even make that much money off it or something.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. Just because we hear about the inventor of the automobile, of the telephone, of this, that, the other thing, you know, Thomas Edison, the light bulb. We don't hear about the guy who invented the bumper buddy, which is that little rubber flap you put on the back of your car when you live in a city so that when cars are parallel parking in front and behind of you and they accidentally ding your car, it doesn't hit you.
So here's my question. Did
But that
someone
guy
invent
made-
that?
that
But did
guy-
he- is that guy even a guy?
That guy is a guy
How do you
who
know?
has a yacht. He has a yacht.
What if he just worked for Goodyear or something? And they're like, hey, can you think of
Maybe. I'm telling you, dude, Bumper Buddy, it has a house made entirely of rubber, and it's a shrine to himself, and he has weird tastes, you know, but he's got it made
It's
for
lightning proof.
generations. For generations, he's
I don't
got
know,
it
dude.
made.
Ryan, you got something over here?
The guy who invented the what was the Bumper Buddy?
Yeah.
Christopher William Bryant. And the patent was filed in late September 2001. And I'll find out what
How
his
much
worth.
his
He
net
worth
worth
an
is.
absurd
See how
amount of
much
money.
he's worth.
Is that guy an inventor in general? I feel like there's no people who just invented one thing. There's like a culture. You must have to like understand it. Like an inventor hangs, they're like, oh yeah, I remember this one patent I had back in '98.
Yeah,
Gave me some bullshit about they did it. You know what I mean?
sure.
A lot of like bureaucratic nonsense.
Filing a patent doesn't sound that fun.
Sounds terrible. Not to mention, dude, you know how much anxiety I'd have that someone else was thinking of the same shit? Like
Mhm.
Alexander Graham Bell running to try to, before the Italian guy. Is that
Right,
famous story?
Right.
And that's why I think I could never develop an app or be like any sort of entrepreneur because I'd just be worried that someone was doing it better than me the whole time and I'd probably be right.
Or that somebody had already done some version and they were going to just sue the pants off of you. That's
Yeah,
the thing
that
that I
sucks
fear.
too.
But this is, we all fear this. I mean, as comedians, you and I both probably fear a joke, that telling a new joke we like where someone's already done it and then getting accused of joke stealing.
I've come to terms with that culture. I'm like, whatever. Like I said it. Like the thing is, if I just actually thought of the joke and did it, if it's not in some famous special, like who fucking gives a shit?
Yeah, I know.
If someone else has a similar joke to me.
I was watching a clip that was I found very compelling where it was Ricky Gervais talking about when James Corden got accused of stealing his joke. Because he's James Corden said Ricky Gervais's joke word for word on his show or at an award show or something. And it caused a big scandal, and Corden was very embarrassed.
How
and
long ago was this?
apologized. Not that long ago.
And did someone else write the joke? Like since it's an
so
award show?
I don't know that it ever came out what had happened, but Ricky Gervais is on a talk, on some podcast or radio show talking about this, and he goes, "There's no way that James Corden knowingly stole my joke.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way, because he would have known he could never get away with that.
Yeah.
Right.
There's just no way."
Totally.
It was in Ricky's special on Netflix,
So that's
which
the
was
thing,
a
yeah.
gigantic special.
Exactly.
So these things happen, but people, especially weirdly people outside of comedy, really get excited about the joke stealing thing. They get worked up about it. They
Yeah.
like to say, "Ooh, somebody stole a joke," or this,
Dude, to be honest, I don't hear about it in comedy that often. And a lot of the time when someone tells me a story about it, I'm just kind of like, I don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Because it's just like an absurd, I just don't see it happening in New York that much.
No, I think people know, especially after the whole Joe Rogan, Carlos Mencia thing.
That was like the most famous one.
There
And
have
Ari
been all
Shaffir.
these incidents now where people have been caught for it, and it's really affected their reputation as comedians. I think it's just there's never the risk is not worth the reward.
And dude, a lot of the time too, like if you have the same joke as somebody, the chances are it's fucking hacky. Like if anybody can tell it, a lot of the time, like not always, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Like for me at least, like I feel confident that I have enough stuff, and maybe it's like my style, but that's like so personal to me that I can't imagine that anybody would. I would say
Right.
most of my set. There's of course stuff. There's plenty of stuff, and there were times, or especially early in my career, where I'd do a hacky fucking bit that was like one of my better bits, and I'd find out that somebody else had already done it like years before.
Right.
Like a thing about like, this is a classic one. Like, oh, like all the like Upper East Side kids have Jamaican nannies. Why don't they have a Jamaican accent? That's like a year or two in comedy joke.
Interesting.
Oh, what you doing, man? You know what I mean? Like that joke sucks.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But at the time, like it sucked to
Yeah.
like have to burn it. But I did.
Right.
I was happy to.
I went down a long rabbit hole in my first year of comedy, doing open mics, trying to figure out how to frame the struggles of growing up with red hair as being akin to, being people being racist against me
Mhm.
for it, and how the word ginger is an anagram for
Oh yeah.
the N-word, same exact letters, and maybe that someday we'll be the only ones that can use the word ginger,
Right.
but we'll call each other ginger, all that kind of stuff. And
It's
I
clever.
not only had, I think Tim Minchin, brilliant musical comedian, done a whole song about exactly that. There was another comedian who had done a whole bit about it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I
Yeah.
spent a whole year doing that.
But dude, that's the thing. The thing about something like that, and that's like a more specific thing because that, of course, is extremely personal to you. But like, it's about something that other people share.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty hard to not have overlap in those kind of scenarios.
Totally.
Like any subject has been covered in some way. So it's
Right.
like, how do you cover it?
Right.
That is the only way to like make that happen, or you just got to do it first or something.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. So, Sonny, a lot of people have been hitting me up asking about Bird Dog's pants and the way that they wear. They're curious about the specifics of the way that the khaki pant fits.
Oh, it fits perfect.
It fits like a pant,
Mm-hmm.
like a pant with a naughty little secret,
Oh.
more so than like an athleisure pant.
Sure,
Because
sure.
we've gotten that question, which is what's so fun about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like business in the streets, freak in the sheets
Yeah.
type of situation.
Yeah. Any tighter and you're not leaving much to the imagination.
That's right.
They're nice and snug, but not skin tight pants. They're I would call it a slim straight khaki trouser type fit.
Yeah, so I picture you wearing it to a sort of southern gathering where everybody's dressed up nicely and you're wearing your crisp khaki pants and you're sitting at the table and you're giggling because you know,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody's like, hey, what are you laughing about?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, nothing.
Yeah.
But you're just laughing about how comfortable you are.
Right.
Your little pants.
That's pretty good. I see it on an aspiring young politician
Mm-hmm.
who has yet to be corrupted by the bureaucracy of Washington.
And
He's-
underwear.
He's wearing a yeah. Well, he doesn't have time for underwear.
He doesn't.
He's canvassing, and he's walking door to door, and he's got his shirt sleeves rolled up, and he's literally standing on a soapbox and talking to farmers about the importance of land rights and things like that. And he's a handsome guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dreamer. He's wearing the Bird Dog's khaki pants.
He sure is, man. And those summers are hot down in the Mississippi Delta.
Sure are.
And, you got to make sure that you got breathable pants on.
Breathable pants. That's the Bird Dog's pants. We love them for anything. Whether you're a budding congressperson or a whatever you said.
A guy going to a dinner party down south.
That's it. That's
or
it.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Go to birddogs.com. Use promo code OOPS. We believe you will get some sort of drinking
a
vessel.
tumbler. A tumbler.
Tumbler.
I hardly know her. With your order, that's birddogs.com. Promo code OOPS. Well, Ryan, have you found out what the Bumper Buddy guy is worth?
I can't find anything on him.
See?
I've been looking since.
My point.
Might go to show on that.
You wouldn't know until all of a sudden one day you got invited over to someone's house for dinner, and he was there, and your friend leaned into you and said, "Do you know who that is?" And you're like, "No."
It's the Bumper Buddy
And
guy.
you go, "That guy invented the Bumper Buddy." And you'd be like, "Okay." You'd be like, "He's worth $400 million."
I can't even find a
"What?"
photo of him.
Yeah, he keeps a low profile.
He
He's a
needs to
class
keep
Just
a
the
low
act.
patent
profile,
that
yeah.
he
Did it
submitted.
for love of the game. He was tired of his car getting the back fender smushed in. He said, "What if all we needed to do was create a tiny layer of rubber and solve the issues?"
That's pretty amazing.
And call it the Bumper Buddy. Alliteration wins every time.
It's a good name.
Speaking of, have you followed? I'm in a bit of a strange thing with this woman on the internet.
I'm gonna need a little more.
So there's this, hot babe.
Oh
on
yeah, of
Instagram.
course. Yeah, this is great.
And she's it was alleged
Tom Brady's
that
girlfriend.
she was Tom Brady's new girlfriend following Tom's divorce from Giselle. And she certainly seemed to fit the profile. People got very excited about this. She's, some 5'11" babe. And she wears Tom Brady jerseys and posts pictures of herself rooting for him. So the rumors swirled, but there was never any,
proof.
they never got spotted together. There was whatever. So all these articles were written about it, but then for some reason, a couple of them were like, she's actually this lady and she's married to this former Olympic bobsledder from Latvia.
Actually from Latvia?
Yeah.
Formerly the quarterback of the
Yeah.
Latvia Tigers. You know,
Yeah.
I look down the field, I see him open, I throw the ball, that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. The railing on the sled fell, so I picked up a ball, and next thing you know, football. I fell into it naturally.
Before you know it, I'm 13 for 17 with 400 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's right. She's married to some guy, but when she got married to him, it was 2020, and she had a different color hair, and I don't know exactly what happened from there. But the point was that I got her text message from 2 different friends of mine about a week ago, both of whom told me that she followed me on Instagram.
Yeah, I think we got this far in the story.
I
We've
said this
not-
on the podcast?
I believe so. We've not gotten further than that. So this is good.
Okay. And I was like, why do they know that? And whatever, we figured that out. But then I decided to write a blog about it. As I do, I take some tiny kernel of nothing information, and then I spend hours and hours and expound upon it for 1,000 words in a very neurotic, meandering way. It's very fun for me to unravel my neurotic mind on the page. And
Imagine Francis blogging with a fountain pen in a better era.
That
was
would
more
have been-
suitable. There I was. You're writing
Yeah.
these long cursive,
Yeah.
and you write in cursive.
I do write in cursive.
Francis wrote us a very nice card, and it was really nice cursive.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He wrote me a nice card, and it was nice cursive. I am not worthy of that card, dude. It was just nice.
He sent us a nice gift for our wedding. Of course you're worthy. I switched over to writing in my sophomore year in college, I was still taking all my notes from classes in regular script or whatever, and my God, my fucking handwriting drove me nuts. It just looks so childish.
Yeah.
It was certainly legible. It was very legible. It just wasn't elegant in any way. It was so dumb.
Yeah, it looks like you're palming the pen.
It was so dumb. I was so embarrassed reading back because I would always have to go back over my notes to study for finals and stuff. And I just got so fucking tired of it. And out of nowhere, I was like, I'm just going to start taking all my notes in cursive. and I switched over to cursive. And dude, my GPA from like my sophomore year to my junior year, I went from like a 3.4 to like a 3.8.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
my
crazy.
grades was so much better from junior and senior year, and from then on, I just any handwriting that I do pretty much
Cursive.
now is in cursive.
Can I slide something in here real quick before we get back to this? Just reminded me of something. One of the like hackiest movie moments, in my opinion, is that moment where there's like a guy who needs to sign a contract, but he can't write. And then, and they're like, sign it. And he's like, and they're like, all right, like
Make your mark.
Make your mark.
Make your mark.
And then he
writes an X.
That's such a stupid moment in movies. I know that that's real, but everybody's supposed to be like, oh, he couldn't write.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Fuck out of here.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
I'm sure there were people that did not know how to write and felt taken advantage of as a result because they can't read. That means they can't read the contract.
For sure, but the way that they film it, like the guy's looking at the paper and he's trying to think of a way to make it not obvious, and then he just slowly, dramatically looks up like, I cannot.
Oh man, this is breaking my heart.
And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, like, and then they like give him ink and he puts his thumb. It's like, dude,
that's what they do.
this is stupid, dude.
I like that.
He draws a dog.
Dude, I mean, you want to talk about a different era. Imagine how much cooler it would have been for them to have you sign a document by burning wax, and then you take your fucking ring and you smush your ring insignia into the wax. That would have been awesome.
That's how you like seal the letters.
That's how you seal the letters. That's how you sign a treaty.
You could still do that, dude.
I'd like to start doing that.
You could still do that.
I need a ring that has some kind of family crest on it.
You could definitely do it, bro. I bet Barefoot Contessa does that shit. She'll buy rope to make invitations.
Oh.
And it'll look okay, and she goes, I just think that looks fabulous.
Oh.
That's good.
All right. Barefoot Contessa.
Can you remind me about Barefoot Contessa later? I will have something I want to talk about with Barefoot Contessa. We need to get back on track.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Tom Brady's alleged girlfriend who's not actually his
that's
girlfriend,
right.
and your blog.
Yeah. So, by the way, nothing makes me happier than how little we care about staying on track.
I would argue we're pretty good at it.
Really?
Are we bad?
I don't think we're bad.
We
at
typically-
it.
We get back to it, but we allow. There's no stress. There's no stress about taking a detour
The wind needs
or
to
a
take
side, the scenic route. We take the scenic route.
Was that you? Someone was in. Oh, Roan was doing impressions of the Navajo guide. He was pretty fucking good at that.
Yeah, he was good at
That
that.
was really impressive.
It's a great episode. If you haven't listened, go back and listen to the episode with Roan.
Dude, Francis and I were texting about it after, and we're like, at some point, Roan took over the podcast and was like, so tell me, what do you think about that? And I was like, what the fuck just happened to
Yeah, he was running the show, and I just it startled
Never happened
me,
to us.
and it was deeply humbling because I was like, man, he is really good at this.
He's just clearly good off the top, which
He's
if
very
you've seen any of
good.
his freestyle battles,
Yeah,
which he's a prolific freestyle battler.
incredibly good podcaster.
Yeah.
And you realize when you watch him, you're like, oh, this is a skill.
This guy's sharp.
Well, anyway, so
More off the bat.
Tom Brady's not or alleged new girlfriend. So I wrote this blog about her, and I basically went trying to say like, well, apparently they're dating. But she follows me. What does this mean? I'm a happily married man, so I decided I would message her, and I like wrote what I would send to her, some message to let her know that I was married, and then I realized, well, that's kind of insecure, so I deleted that and said that I would send this other thing, and then I I get mad at her in the end and block her for being like trying to ruin my marriage or something, and then after I blocked her, I realized that by blocking someone on Instagram, it makes them unfollow you, and I felt bad about that because she might just be a fan. So then I messaged her, hey, I blocked you, but I feel bad. You can follow me back now if you want. And some shit like that. It was nuts. But I had a fun time writing it. And
To be clear, did that actually happen?
I didn't send any of the messages until the last one. But
Did
it wasn't
you actually block her
Yeah, I actually blocked her.
for the story?
Yeah, for fun.
Okay.
I wasn't like actually going through the roller coaster of like, what am I supposed to send to this girl? I didn't give a fuck. I didn't have any worry in my mind or thought that the whole point of this was like to trump up the fact that she just followed me on Instagram as though she was like knocking on my door
Right.
trying to destroy my marriage, which of course she was not.
Which, by the way, I think many a tale of like creepy comedian begin in that way. Not talking about you, but like someone follows you and like some comedian takes that as they like want to have sex.
Oh.
And then they like send them creepy messages and the girl's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but also for the record, I knew this. I knew I could write this in a way that was not in any way disrespectful to my
Well,
wife,
of course.
and I showed her the blog, and we both laughed about it together. So it was all good because it's me being
Totally.
insanely defensive of my marriage.
Right.
But is the joke.
It fully plays as a joke.
Yeah.
Like I know. Yeah.
So, but I did block her. I didn't know that by blocking somebody, it makes them unfollow you.
Mhm.
Like Instagram does that. And then I thought it'd be funny for me to like ask her to follow me back
Yeah.
again after blocking her.
But does it not automatically follow you?
No.
Wow. That's crazy.
And so I wrote that blog and I posted all that. And then she, a couple days later, saw the blog and posted a Instagram story about it and was like, this is really funny. And she was like, no worries, I'll follow you back, Francis. So, of course, I was like, okay, I guess I have to write another blog about this. I actually didn't really want to, but Nate, my editor-in-chief, was like, you should do a sequel. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And also, the first blog had done huge numbers because Tom Brady's girlfriend gets a lot of clicks. But this time, I wasn't really sure what to do as a follow-up. So I started with the idea of like Tom Brady's girlfriend followed me back after I blocked her was the original conceit. But how do I turn it from there? And I did a little bit of research and found that she was married, and then I realized that her husband was incredibly handsome. So I started thinking, well, what if I, as a way of being angry that she's trying to get in my head, start trying to seduce her husband? Like, what if I go after him and try to,
You're like the guy from that crime like documentary about the guy who hooked up with the husband and the wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what if
the guy next door or whatever it's called?
What if my revenge for her trying to ruin my marriage is that I try to ruin her marriage by trying to have some liaison with her husband? I thought that might be a funny angle, but that was very extreme, and I didn't really want to contrive that level of nonsense. So instead, I think what I did was I did the exact same thing with him, where I was basically like, I presented who he was and said, man, what a stud and all that. And clearly, she's not dating Tom Brady. This is the big breaking news. This was all bullshit. Yeah. She's married to some Latvian bobsledder. And she's Latvian herself, by the way, which I didn't know.
That's why she's probably so tall.
Yes.
I mean, dude, they're big people out there, dude.
Backup quarterback for the Bucks. Tom ever.
Women's football has really become big in the Baltic states, dude.
You can step in and see over the line.
Has the Baltic states ever been said so many times in two podcasts?
I love it. I love it. Gee, I saw this clip recently of, I think it was one of the world's largest espresso martinis that had ever been made.
Well, that seems quite silly.
And it was a beverage that was brought out for a gaggle of young men.
That has to be added to the list of the most unimpressive world spectacles.
Yeah, not great.
Largest espresso martini.
10 goofy ass straws for them to sip from together.
Ryan would have drank it all by himself.
Yeah, he would have. That's one serving for Ryan. And I thought to myself, man, that doesn't look very good. But, if they had used the right coffee, if they had used some Brooklyn Roasting Company Oops, beans. I would have taken a straw myself and sucked that puppy dry. Down to the bone.
To the bone.
Me and Ryan would have taken it down together, you know, looking at each other like we're in a 1950s soda shop.
Lady and the Tramp.
2 peas, you know, on a date. Ooh, brain freeze. Ooh,
brain freeze, brain freeze.
Ooh. Oh, we drink it too fast. And then be up all night.
Your toes touch under the table and you both recoil and go, sorry.
Yeah. Just driving dad's
happening?
beat up old Chevy pickup truck to the scenic overlook.
That's right.
Yeah, as I slide my arm slowly behind his head.
Ryan. All over a
And
cup
he's
of
like,
Brooklyn Roasting
he's like,
Company.
you do this to all the guys. No, I really like you.
Nah, dude.
Yeah. So that's our favorite coffee, Brooklyn Roasting Company, the Oops Beans, guys. It's so delicious. It's perfect for whatever time zone you're living in, time era.
Yeah.
However big your espresso martini, you can make espresso martinis, but you can make regular coffee. Start your day. I prefer an iced oat milk latte with 2 shots.
In a mason jar.
In a mason jar with ice and oat milk. Get yourself our favorite coffee from Brooklyn Roasting Company at brooklynroasting.com. Promo code OOPSBEANS. That'll get you 5% off. Brooklyn Roasting Company is the company. brooklynroasting.com. Promo code OOPSBEANS. But okay, so but this is where I'm asking you for advice, because I got a little bit conflicted about this, because this dude that she's married to, he's not in any of the pictures that she posts on her account. She's got like 3.5 million followers on her Instagram. She's, clearly going for like the model, bikini type thing, and he's not in any of the pictures. And my guess is that that's intentional. She wants to build a brand of, and they've done nothing, by the way, to discourage the rumor mongering of her relationship with Tom Brady.
Bro, some of these European guys are like built different sometimes.
I'm not saying that it's their job to squash that, but it does feel to me like she's leaning into that. Is she dating Tom Brady? It clearly has not hurt her, and he's almost certainly aware of it, because this guy played football himself before his bobsledding career at the University of Akron.
He actually did?
Yes.
What?
Wait, no.
What?
He played at the University of Akron.
What?
Dude, all of this is
Akron
really...
is very nice
I
to play football in Akron.
Yeah, he played at like 235 pounds, or
I
maybe...
step back in the pocket, I can see the whole field, man.
This guy, I'm so enchanted by her husband. I like him. He's a man of mystery. Now he owns and runs a beer hall in Vienna, Austria.
Sick.
And I looked up his LinkedIn page. He's so handsome. He's got this long hair, beautiful jawline. I think it's the same guy, but as a young man, he played football at the University of Akron, all the way coming over from Latvia. Anyway, super interesting guy.
Absurd, dude.
And I found their wedding photos. She has different colored hair. It's all kind of a little hard to track. But somewhere along the line, she leaned into this as sort of like a different career. I think they're still married. I don't know.
Okay.
And I worried that by exposing him, I was going too far.
Is this the question?
Yeah,
Did you
because
expose him?
because he clearly, he's only got like 2,000 followers and a private account on Instagram.
Well, you can get in trouble for airing a guy like that out.
Really?
In theory, if he were to be able to prove that what you're doing somehow affected his business, he could sue.
But aren't I
Defamation.
protected under parody law? Everything
No,
I'm doing is
everything
to be funny?
and everything that anybody says about you, he's protected because you are a pervasive public figure. Since he's a private individual, if he can prove that you somehow negatively affected his business, he can sue you. Even if it's parody, it doesn't matter.
Ugh. Well, I did leave a fake TripAdvisor review for his restaurant.
But positive?
No.
I think that's fine.
I didn't
TripAdvisor-
actually leave it though.
Oh.
Because I had to TripAdvisor vets your comments.
Oh, they didn't let you do it.
And I was like, the comment I left was the owner of this restaurant's wife is actually not dating Tom Brady.
No, that's fine, dude. If you were like,
but then I did this thing where
uh-oh. What else?
well, I
did you
had
do,
found on his LinkedIn page, he was like, my personal, professional qualifications. I'm punctual, professional, and something else. And it was 3 words that started with P. So I was like, he's a huge fan of, precise, punctual, and perfectionist. So I was like, well, he's clearly a big fan of alliteration himself. So on the TripAdvisor review, I wrote, the owner of this restaurant's wife is not actually dating Tom Brady. Pathetic, pernicious, and something perfidious or something like that as a play on that. So those were negative adjectives that I was using.
I think you're probably.
But I didn't post it because TripAdvisor insists that you actually have gone to the restaurant and don't leave fake reviews on their site. So they vet the thing. So it got bounced.
Oh, great. So you're good.
Wow.
I don't think, no, dude, you didn't cross the line. Whatever. It's a funny story. The guy doesn't give a shit.
I mean, the point is, he didn't sign up for this shit. He didn't sign up to be.
But dude, I mean, you didn't start it. The rumor about the Tom Brady thing had already begun.
Uh-huh.
So, I think you're good.
Yeah, but my track is to create this ridiculous side narrative with her husband.
Dude, I think it was funny. I think you're good.
Yeah. All right.
I think you're probably good in that regard.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap it up real quick. Yeah, so I think the answer is you're good.
I like that guy.
Yeah, he's good.
You should see him.
I'm sure he's great.
We should hang
Send
out
me
with
his
him.
profile.
That is, you want to talk
That's
about.
him?
That's him, dude.
Oh boy.
That's what I'm saying.
I love that.
Looks
look.
like a fucking wizard.
Looks
I mean, man, that's a man of the
like a
mountains.
magician.
That is the king of International Guys Day. I mean, I don't even know. He's not a guy. That's
The god.
That's a
He's
god.
a god, yeah.
He's a god.
Thor.
He's a god.
Okay, before we get into some facts with Ryan here, real quick, there were some popular replies to the Overrated landmarks thing.
Oh, good. I want to hear this.
And 2 that I pulled up that no one's really been saying that I think, to me, by far take the cake.
Or of being overrated.
Yes, are the following: the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That could not be more overrated. That is the
bad.
most overrated thing of all time. And the Mall of America.
Wow.
Those are easily the 2 most overrated things.
Yeah.
Mall of America was probably cool at the time it came out. I went there a couple years ago. Not impressed. I don't even think it's the biggest mall anymore.
No, it still is.
Either isn't the one in New Jersey bigger now?
No.
It's the second biggest.
Oh, but it's not the biggest in the world, right? Definitely not. And guess what? The rides suck in there, dude.
Interesting.
Okay, here's some of the other ones that people came up with. People said Graceland, but I would argue that Graceland has significance still. Like Mall of America and Hollywood Walk of Fame don't have significance. They don't have history really. They're just like made, and we were told that they're special. So whatever. The pissing statue in Belgium, whatever that thing's called, I forget. Plymouth Rock, which you had said. Stonehenge
I think.
is another one, and then obviously Mona Lisa. Those are the most popular. replies.
Stonehenge is a good answer. I was about to argue, and then I thought, you know what? I went to Stonehenge when I was a little boy, and boy, oh boy, did I find it
Is it
boring.
overrated? Oh fuck, dude! Real quick. Okay, sorry. The Barefoot Contessa thing. If anybody here watches Barefoot Contessa or has watched Barefoot Contessa, there's a really funny drinking game that you can play. And I've been talking about it with Hill Dog and one of her sisters. And what you do is you have a bunch of cards. Everybody pulls 3 or 4 cards, and all of them are things that might happen during the episode. So if her name's Ina Garden, if she cooks with parsley, that person has to take a shot. Whoever has the parsley card. If she says fabulous, every time she says the name Jeffrey, her husband, you have to drink. Every time she refers to one of her friends, you have to. There's a really fun drinking game there, and I encourage you to play it. That is all.
That's
Do you
fun.
have any other closing thoughts before we get into
I
some
am
facts?
not drinking for January.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because Sierra's on antibiotics for Lyme disease, and so she can't drink, and I just decided to do it in solidarity with her.
That's great. Do you have any plans to like do any other things that not drinking can allow you to do?
No,
Any like fitness goals?
I
or-
am working out a lot.
What, like, are you trying to get huge again? or
No.
You're just
I went home over Christmas and I was heavy.
really
I weighed a lot more than I thought I would.
interesting.
and I don't know where that came from.
Did you see it anywhere on yourself? Because
No,
I certainly couldn't.
Not
tell.
really. Not really. I was totally unaware. I was a full 10 pounds heavier than I expected myself to be.
Of muscle or no?
No,
Gotcha.
I'm not doing like any kind of concentrated workout to bulk.
And have you already gotten rid of the 10 pounds?
I don't know. But I have this idea, which is that I want to do a video with KB No Swag where we cut weight like wrestlers together.
Oh, sick.
Oh
So
my
you like wear
God.
sweatpants in the sauna and shit?
Yes.
Roll up in
Oh,
a
that's
mat.
cool.
Yeah. That's what I
God,
want
that's
to
gotta
do
be
with him.
brutal.
It's
Spitting
gonna
in
suck.
the water fountain.
That's
all
fun.
day.
because I said I want you to coach me, and
Yeah.
he was like, "I'll do it with you." And then I was
Sick.
like, "Jesus Christ, we have to do this."
This is good for both of you, dude. I like
Yeah,
it. like
I want to do that. So we're thinking about that. And because I don't know where this weight came from. I'm probably lower now. But I my guess would be that it was from drinking wine.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
I picked up wine again. I got back into wine, which comes in waves in my life.
Yeah.
I just sometimes come in and out of wine, and right around Christmas,
So that's the thing too, though. Those couple weeks, like the last 3 weeks before
Dude.
the end of the year, you put on weight.
I've
Everybody
never been a
does.
guy who would put on 10 pounds.
Do you think it happened over a longer period of time? most
It
likely?
must
Probably.
have, but I don't know. I don't know exactly where. And by the way, I'm not bothered by this.
No, it's okay. But
fine.
the only other questions that I have: were you weighing yourself in the morning? Were you naked? Was the scale accurate?
in Maine,
Okay.
It was true to form.
Cool.
It was a full thing, and it occurred to me that right before Christmas in New York, December, on a night when we would have friends over or something like that, New Year's Eve, like I was putting down a full bottle of white wine by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just a lot of calories.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let's not drink for January. Let's really focus on working out, and let's get back to a more manageable number.
I really like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah. And so January, you asked if I'm going to. I will say that there is a wild relief that comes from waking up on Sunday morning and just knowing, no matter what, you're not hungover.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
unbelievable.
Agreed. It's a
Where
nice feeling.
because we're hanging out with people on Saturday nights who are drinking,
Yeah.
and we're not, and we go to bed, and I'm like, wow, that was a big night. I'm tired. I feel intoxicated from the revelry, from the socializing, from the excitement. I go to bed, and I wake up completely clear-headed.
Yeah.
No ache in the back of my mind.
It might be good. It must be good for the mental health too. I bet.
Maybe. With all that said, our fridge is so packed with awesome booze right now. I can't wait to get back to it.
What are the odds you don't complete dry January? That you're like eventually like, I don't need to do this.
I think I'm pretty confident. We're
about halfway there.
yeah, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna make it. Also, I'm doing it for my wife in a way, and that's
That makes
to
it
me
easier.
is a I would almost be betraying her if I were
Yeah.
to have a drink.
Much easier. I would argue that that's easier.
Yeah.
In a good way.
And I would imagine, in light of how much I think this is a positive experiment, that when she gets pregnant, hopefully, I will not drink for her pregnancy either, potentially,
Oh wow.
because she or for however long she's not allowed to drink for her
Mhm.
pregnancy, because they've said now that the science has changed. I think, which is that I think they're saying women are not as strictly forbidden from alcohol for the entirety of their pregnancy as they once thought.
Interesting.
That it may just be like the first or second trimester. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Please do not follow my medical advice about drinking during pregnancy. Ryan, facts with Ryan, please.
Joseph Gayetti invented toilet paper in 1857. He called it medicated paper for the water closet. The paper contained aloe and was sold in packages of
Wow.
500 sheets for 50 cents. You were referring to...
That's expensive. 1857? Bro, pizza was 10 cents in 1940. 50 cents?
But it
wonder
had
how
aloe
thick
in it, man.
The
What the
roll is
fuck?
too.
This was nice toilet paper for the first try.
That's great. It was for rich people. It's always for rich people first, dude.
Yeah.
Every
Uh-huh.
prototype.
50 cents does seem
That's
really
fucking
expensive.
crazy, dude.
You were referring to that Wicked documentary.
Ryan, we're gonna need
Yes.
it. We're gonna need a follow-up fact. Can you
Yeah.
convert 50 cents
Ryan, you do that. I'll do this.
from what is it, 19
Wait,
from 1857 to current money?
I've been using.
We
it.
need to know how much that was.
So we have a website for this now. So if we ever want to look up inflation, there's a calculator.
Good.
I got it bookmarked. We're good to go. So in 1857, if toilet paper was worth 50 cents, today it would be worth $30.
$30.
$30
There we go.
bucks.
That's expensive. You're
The-
probably wiping with your hand at that point.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know it. Does toilet paper today have aloe in it?
I think
Some
it
does.
can.
Interesting.
The good stuff.
Good stuff, pal.
The Wicked documentary that you brought up, and I think we brought it up a couple times on this show,
Yeah.
Abducted in Plain Sight.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
where the
yeah.
guy kind
Bangs
of
the entire family.
fucks
Yeah.
everyone.
Didn't they make a drama out of it too now
And-
I
based on
haven't
that?
seen it.
Limited series. It's called A Friend of the Family.
Yeah.
And I
Got
think the creepy guy, I forget his name, but he was the entitled asshole from season 1 of White Lotus.
Jake
Ah,
Lacey.
nice.
Yes.
Jake
Nice.
Lacey.
So he plays that bad dude in
Nice.
the limited series. It's on
Wow.
Peacock. And then surprisingly, Mall of America in square footage is the 11th largest mall in the world.
Bro.
5.6 million square feet. The Iran Mall is 21 million square feet,
There you
largest
go.
in the world.
Alternative facts.
Wow.
Yeah. And then a ton in between those two are in Asia.
Cool.
Believe it.
That's great.
Eye-opening as always.
You guys know me. I'll be on tour in Philly, Atlanta, and Nashville,
I like that.
Dallas,
You guys know me.
Dallas, Austin, Chicago, and San Francisco, and one other place.
Francis's tour rollout has really been great. I've been sitting watching and comparing it to how I have not been doing any of the good things that Francis is doing.
Oh,
You have a great tour poster, dude.
thank you.
You know what's funny? I was like, can we get a tour poster for my tour? And my people were like, yeah. And then they just sent me the exact same thing as Francis's. I was like, are you guys serious? Like, we have to like make this a little
Why
different.
don't I connect you to the guy who did mine?
You did. He's backed up. I
but
was emailing
but
with
just
him.
stay on him.
It's fine. I'm fine with the way that we're doing it for now.
Okay.
But I'm going to be in St. Petersburg, Florida tomorrow night at Coastal Creative. It's going to be a really great show. Looking forward to it. Your boy Brian F. Schultz, the hero of my life, will
Yeah.
be in the building. He
Legend.
won't be performing,
The fixer.
but he'll be hanging out.
He's the fixer.
I got DC Improv in March, and then in April, I am going to have Atlanta, Providence, Rhode Island, and Yonkers.
Damn.
So see you guys at one of
You
those,
need a-
notjulio.com.
You need a poster,
I
bro.
need a poster.
My tickets are francisels.com. Thank you guys. That's Oops the Podcast. We'll see you soon.